A small portion of this video is kindly sponsored by Sundays. The Pinterest pantry is so not functional. I can't believe I'm showing this. Oh, that's not bad. Your house will not be offended that you're using pumpkin spice in the middle of springtime. Good enough? Or will that drive me crazy? If something is just not working for you anymore, can I just give you permission to not feel guilty about it?
A palette of gold, gold, gold. A palette of gold, gold, gold.
Well, hey friends, it's Natalie. So glad you stopped by to hang out with me today in my very messy pantry / laundry room. You are very precariously set on a box on top of my washer and dryer amongst so many other things. This room, multi-purpose space, I'm grateful for it, but it is driving me crazy. This is probably the messiest room in our home. It gets messy the fastest, so I need to get it under control. So that's what I'm doing for today's messy to minimal episode. Drop this emoji in the comments if you have a spot in your house, big or small, that could use a little bit of a declutter. And why don't you get on up and start working on that space while you watch or listen to this video. It's always nice to be able to work with a friend. I'm frankly embarrassed. Like, I almost don't want to show you how bad it is in here, but I keep things real. So let's take a look. I mean, right off the bat, I am stepping on spilled rice kernels. I have Trader Joe's bags that I'm actually going to be decluttering into. This, oh my gosh. This looks so bad. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm showing this. It's so bad. So much empty packaging and garbage, which will actually be really easy to take care of. Rooms like this with consumables, I never really feel guilt over getting rid of anything because it's just something that we make our way through anyway. Yeah, for you OGs, I still have that Red Bull package on there from years ago. If you know, you know. I'm getting rid of that today, along with a bunch of other stuff. I know I have expired stuff here. We do try to make it through all of our food in a timely manner so things don't go bad. I do have a couple of things, however, that have. It happens. We live here. We are human. Swinging over to the laundry side of things. Oh my gosh. Pretty sure most of these bottles of laundry detergent are just empty, kind of like this side. We use up things and then just leave empty. Pack it. Same with this. Same with this. I mean, I'm already started. So let's just keep this ball rolling. You know me, I am all about starting with easy wins to get the ball rolling. So right now, I'm just going to grab everything that I can find on the laundry side of things to declutter out. That way, I actually have space on top of my washer and dryer to set things as I'm trying to make my way through the pantry side of things. So grabbing my tripod and we're gonna get started over here. This is just a basket of a bunch of random stuff. There is a bra, a toothpick, a burrito wrapper. Like, what is this? Bop it.
Solo. Twist it. Pull it. Pull it. Yeah! Hello?
If you saw my messy to minimal videos back in 2020 when I originally started this series, you might notice that I'm much more confident walking into these projects. I think because I've done this so much over the last 5 years, I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel when I set out on a decluttering project. And if you're just at the beginning of your decluttering or simple living journey, maybe you're feeling really overwhelmed by your house right now, I want to encourage you that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Little by little is better than nothing at all. The small steps make the biggest difference, and it does get easier the more you practice it. I am doing a quick preliminary declutter over here on top of the washer and dryer, but I'm going to revisit this space later on in the video to do a bit more detailed decluttering and a bit of organizing as well. Contrary to what you might see on social media or YouTube, people don't live live in mansions most of the time, so we have to make the best use of our space, which means we do have rooms that have more than one purpose. Is it ideal? Is it Pinterest worthy? Heck no. It's what you do with what you got. Okay, I discovered an ingredient in Pine Sol that I'm actually allergic to. So this one's completely unopened. This one is only a bit used, and I think, woof, dusty. Because it's not food, I think it is actually still donatable, but I will check in with our local food bank that I'm going to be donating cleaning supplies and food that's not bad or opened to. So this goes in that pile. Still need to figure out this, find a home for that, but we're in good shape so far. Hey puppy! Are you wondering what I'm doing in here? Hello! If you only watch my messy to minimal videos, you probably haven't met Opie yet. This is our sweet pup. He's been with us for almost a year. It will be in June. Opie is a puppy mill rescue. When he came to us, he definitely had some skin and some digestion issues, and it was suggested by his vet and groomer that we switch him over to fresh food because he had been eating like that cheap kibble and he wasn't doing well with it. But then we discovered Sunday's food for dogs. I know there's so much to smell in here, isn't there? Here's a fresh bag of Sundays. Could you fill his bowl, please? Okay, go with Haley. In my experience, Sundays is like the best of both worlds. It packs that nutritional punch like raw food does, but because it's human grade air dried food, it does not have those extra prep and storage steps to follow. There's no fillers, no synthetic additives. It's naturally complete and balanced. It's nutrient dense and clearly yummy. Because Opie absolutely loves it, and I think more than just the flavor of it, somehow he knows that it makes him feel better when he's eating this food. The results speak for themselves. Within just a few days of switching him over to Sundays from the traditional kibble that he was eating, we saw all of his uncomfortable symptoms, itchiness, painful poops, gurgly tummy, bad breath, pretty much disappear. His groomer and vet have both commented on the positive change in his symptoms, which just makes me so very happy. If you would like to give your dog the chance to try Sunday's food for dogs, then you can actually save 50% off your first order. You can go to the link in my description box, sundaysfordogs.com/Natalie, or use code Natalie at checkout for 50% off your first Sunday's order. And thanks so much to them for sponsoring that little portion of this video, making this video possible, and for helping me help Opie feel his very best. Okay, there are things in this bin. I think this originally started as what I gave my mom when she had Opie for a week when we were out of town last year, but there are things in here that we do not need anymore. This is actually part of his outdoor run. I'm just gonna toss this over there with the other supplies that he has for that. Random mason jar. Oh, this collar is too small on him now. He's definitely done some growing. So I might actually just make a little pile here of stuff to donate to the local animal shelter. I wondered where this brush went. We actually ended up purchasing him a different one because we couldn't find it, and here it was all along. We've got some treats in there. So I'll just keep this bin as his stock of food, and we definitely don't want to ever run out of his food. We did before when we had a snowstorm and we're kind of stuck at home, and oh boy was he not happy. So here's the stock here, and now it's time to move on to doing some decluttering on the pantry side. Oh my gosh, I can't even get close up to these shelves without having to kick around stuff that we've just thrown on the floor. Honestly, this clutter, this stuff on the floor makes the room so much smaller, and we are doing ourselves such a disservice by being lazy and just throwing it here. This is honestly so overwhelming for my brain right now. Okay, immediately, do you remember this from last week's video? This is the extra virgin olive oil that I didn't like, but I know my mom does. Did I bring this to her the last time I saw her? No, I just set it in my pantry. I am going to pause right now and take this to my purse, so the next time I leave my house, I will bring this to her. Please hold. For some reason, I had hoped when I came back in here, it would all be magically done. These expired the 30th of October, 2023. I have been in here so many times tidying up and decluttering the pantry since that date. Why did I not notice that these were done? Here's that citric acid and rennet that I got to make cheese. These are still perfectly good, and I would like to make cheese at some point. That point is not now, and I have this like baking tools and specialty ingredients little bin at the top up here that I'm just throwing that into. I have found several socks and a couple of towels, and as I am grouping like items together, starting to see these categories take shape again. Done a lot of work in this room in the past. This is just one of those spaces that gets bad quick. I think this is probably the most important room for me to do those maintenance declutter sessions in. It does not have to take very long, but when I neglect it, boy, does it get bad quick. Oh, bummer. You're gonna pretend that you didn't just see me throw away 100 corn tortillas that I forgot about. I'm glad I cleared off the top of this washer and dryer, because it makes a difference to be able to throw stuff over there temporarily. I don't know what all this is doing in here. I'm gonna put this in the kitchen sink right now. Okay. Oh, these are still in date. I bought these for Haley's birthday, not last year, the year before. I never ended up using them, and they're still good this year. Ugh, I mean, gross, but okay. Wait, why am I holding on to those? Prime example, just because it's good doesn't mean it's good for you. I have since learned how to make my own frosting, and it's so much better than this canned stuff. And since this is in date, unopened, still perfectly good, this is going in the food bank donation pile. This is still good, but we're not gonna use it. This is evaporated milk. Chips, anyone? We're making progress. Alrighty. I don't know why we ended up with this sugar-free Swiss Miss cocoa. It's so gross, but these packages are unopened, so. Food bank. Ooh, we had something spill. Gross. Ooh. Jackpot. Reese's Christmas trees that expire in October. Don't mind if I do. Don't tell the kids. If you see this in one of my videos in the future, I give you full permission to unsubscribe from me. I have said I'm decluttering this out so many times before. I don't know why it hops off the shelf into a declutter pile and then hops back on. I literally purchased this for my brother-in-law years ago. In fact, it expired in 2024. I can throw it away. I don't even have to put it in a donate pile and then have it magically hop back up onto the shelf. I swear that box of Red Bull has a mind of its own. This protein was gross, it's unopened, and it's still in date, so I will donate it. I'm going to donate these. Copper wire. That's gotta be worth like $1,000. I don't want to be storing cleaners on this shelf at all. I do want my full collection of cleaners over here, really separate from food. That being said, it's an excellent glass cleaner, but I am trying to stay away from heavily fragranced cleaners, and this, I swear, gives me migraines. So these are perfectly good and can be donated along with that Pine Sol. Speaking of cleaners, I put these two jars together. This is an old Kalamata olive jar with orange rinds. I made this delicious blood orange fennel burrata cheese salad on Christmas, and it used a ton of oranges, and so I saved the peels and covered them in vinegar to make my own cleaner. Oh, that's not bad. That smells amazing. These are going over here as well. Just to rearrange this a little bit for it to make sense, because the categories have started to bleed into each other. It gets worse before it gets better. I just keep telling myself that because right now, even though I have made good progress, I am still feeling pretty overwhelmed. You know, I have to say, when I am feeling overwhelmed or kind of burnt out on a decluttering project, I always go back to the thing that helps me personally so much with just getting over that hump. It's the fact that I get to share this process with you all. So thank you so much for giving me a place where I can show the mess, show the process, think out loud, share what I have learned over the years. It blesses me so much to have this space, to be accountable, to be vulnerable. And then as the years have gone on, be able to share what actually has worked for me and to be able to share that encouragement and that gentle motivation with you. Something that I learned pretty early on with my pantry and how my brain and my budget works is that the Pinterest pantry is so not functional for me. It might be functional for some people, but I would venture to guess that a lot of those specialty color-coded labels and boxes and bins and all of the decanting that you see the Instagram girlies do, it's not sustainable. First of all, because that upfront cost of getting all of those specialty little bins and the time that you put into all of this dumping out and funneling through, and then what do you do with the extra that's in the bottom of the bag that didn't quite fit into the vessel that you're pouring it into? I feel like it is so much more trouble than it's worth. Liam? Would you bring me the container in the Lazy Susan cabinet in the kitchen that says oats, please? Thank you very much. Like I said, I don't do a lot of decanting, but if the original packaging is actually not functional and it's a pain, or I need to move a bulk amount to a smaller section like I do in my kitchen pantry storage, then something like this has actually gone a really long ways for me. I have one for oats, one for white flour, whole wheat flour, one for like protein pancake mix in that corner Lazy Susan spinning cabinet in our kitchen. I don't want my big 25-pound bag of oats or rice. Oh, I also have one for rice. I can't store those in the kitchen. There's just not enough space. But walking to the other side of the house in order to get them for the daily use is just not the most functional way to do it. So there is a time and a place for a bit of rearranging or decanting, if you will. There's a time and a place for a bin or a box that's intentionally set there. I have some bins up at the top here because I can't be climbing up every time I need something. So bringing the collection down, like our paper plates and napkins and stuff like that for when we have barbecues or whatever, bringing it down to my 5'0" level makes way more sense than constantly climbing up to rifle through things on a shelf. That is going to look different for everyone, and it's going to look different from season to season. You just have to decide what works for you, and sometimes a bit of trial and error is necessary. And if you have tried a system or you did all of the special little spice jars, and if something is just not working for you anymore, can I just give you permission to not feel guilty about it? When we spend money and time on creating systems that are a flop, I feel like it hurts even worse. But it's okay. We live and we learn. This is something, this little system with these bins, which some of them, I mean, they're like even broken, but they still actually work. It's not that big of a deal. I've had these for years and they work great. I've tried other bins and systems that haven't worked so great. So you just gotta try it out for yourself. Another bag of sundaes, so that will go over with the other stock. So typically I am refilling those daily bins that I showed you in the kitchen from my big 5-gallon buckets. I set up this whole bucket and lid system a couple of years ago, and it has been working great. These are food safe buckets with gamma lids. The main reason for this isn't to make it look better necessarily, although I do think the buckets look better than wadded up bags in the corner. But this is mainly just for pest control, bugs as well as mice. We live in the middle of the woods. Everyone around us in this area, we deal with preventing mice from coming inside. This is looking good down here. I've got kind of various piles going on in here, not feeling as overwhelmed as I was before. I'm just gonna pop up to our paper products and our cleaning supplies and give that a once over. I am seeing a couple of things up there, couple of cleaning products that I don't use anymore. Like these two products. Years ago I was looking for shower door spot remover cleaner, and now we just cover the glass shower door and not bother with making it look spotless. I still clean it because it needs to be cleaned, but I don't need it to not have water spots on it. And we're on well water, so water spots is definitely a thing around here, but these have just been taking up space on this shelf. So I can declutter those out. Baking soda actually goes up there. Goo Gone gel doesn't work as well as just this standard adhesive remover from them. Best toilet bowl cleaner ever from Thrive Market. I still have so many of the pumpkin cinnamon spice scent all-purpose cleaner from Thrive Market, and I'm just making my way through it. It's okay to use out-of-season scented products. Your house will not be offended that you're using pumpkin spice in the middle of springtime. Oh, here's another one of those LG fridge water filters. I donated a couple more that I found in a kitchen cabinet in the last video. I didn't explain why. I actually have a new water filtration system that gets filtered before it reaches the fridge, so this is obsolete. This barkeeper's friend down because I'm using that on my stainless steel pan now. I do love those Thrive Market cleaning concentrates. Their scent is actually really mild, so it doesn't ever bother me. But I might just use my Thrive Market reusable, refillable glass spray bottles with that orange vinegar cleaner. I've got that up there. I had some empty space up there now that I can shift that over. Lots of cleaning supplies that I'm decluttering out that don't work for me, that I don't need anymore. I worked on our Ziploc and sort of paper products, but now I am going to be storing toilet paper down on this level, like on top of these buckets. I think this will work, especially because the person grabbing the toilet paper is the shortest one of us. Haley's job every week is to restock our toilet paper and refill our hand soap in the bathrooms. And I think one of the reasons why we had these packages of toilet paper just getting kicked around on the floor was because she needed them that low for her to be able to access them. They were up much higher before. So I'm gonna try to make that easier on her. We were talking a little bit last week about how it gets easier as your kids get older, but then things need to shift and change. My kids now do chores every day, and they also have weekly chores on top of that. And even though it is nice to have help, you do pay a bit of a price as a parent or an adult that sometimes those jobs aren't perfectly done to your standard. Not that I do things perfectly, but there's just extra mental space when you have someone else, especially a significantly younger someone else, take care of household tasks. It's worth it for them to learn skills. I've always been so thankful that Weston was raised in a home where men and women did household work. It's how it was in my home growing up. I don't want to hand my children off to their future spouses, roommates, etc., and have them not have those life skills. All my kids learn how to do all the things because you never know what the arrangement in their future households or living situations is going to look like. So I want them to be equipped, and it starts with simple tasks now that even if they don't do them perfect or up to my standards, it's still important that they do them. There's a little mini sidetrack bunny trail for you. That one's for free. I'm gonna get over to this laundry area and start taking things back off of it that I had kind of stored over here. Water bottles, I've got some like paper plates and napkin product stuff to deal with, dog food, those Reese's peanut butter trees, some supplements, and I'm going to further declutter in this area now. This is one of those examples of a product that I saw online that did not live up to the hype. These little like laundry powder dispensers, they're awful. They just gum up and don't dispense or get locked open and all of the powder gets wasted out of them. Womp womp. I don't even like the product that's in this one. So, sayonara. A few months ago we had a plumbing issue. I needed to take a bunch of stuff out and then it just ended up sitting here. Is there enough room in this for the... Yes, no, maybe? That mean I can store the implements below? Good enough? Or will that drive me crazy? My fantasy self has an outdoor clothes line. I bought these supplies the first year we moved in, and that fantasy has not been realized yet. But I'm not gonna get rid of it now. Maybe this summer I'll make it happen. She said every summer of her life. Okay, spot bought there. Let me take everything down and only put back what I'm actually going to use. One laundry whitener, one Zum, Lumi stink eraser, Lumi biofilm buster. Gotta have the Folex, gotta have the bluing for the whites. Special soap that I use for wool and cashmere, and then Defunkify odor remover. This is dye because my fantasy self is going to dye a couple of natural fiber pieces of clothing. We shall see if she gets to it. Wrinkle release, scrub brush, Fells naphtha, and the vacation fund that we've been working on with our pocket change. We are looking good over here. Good. Not perfect, but it's progress over perfection, right? I am gonna get through the rest of what is now in this room because of the decluttering. I've got recycling, garbage, food pantry, food donations, food pantry cleaning supply donations. I gotta move stuff out of here, get a load of laundry started with the random pieces that I found during my pantry decluttering. And I just knocked over a garbage bag, but I might as well get a wash started. There's always laundry to do. But now it is easier to find my supplies and what I need. I'm not rifling through the stuff that I don't need in order to get to it. Let me take care of this mess in here really quick. I've got to put mason jars up in a spot that's now clear thanks to the decluttering. So I now have a home for mason jars, which is awesome. I'm gonna get those up there, tidy up a bit, finish up in here, and then we're gonna move to the pantry storage that I have in just a couple of drawers in my kitchen. Okay, wash is rolling. The robot vacuum just finished vacuuming and mopping this floor. We are looking good in here. I tidied up this little spot behind the door. I did have a cleaning supply cart of sorts that I was consistently using for a good while. But now that the kids are helping me with some cleaning and housework, we have a different system that's working better for us than that little cart right there. It was starting to collect dust. Everything collects dust in this room with it being a laundry room, but still we hadn't utilized the system enough recently to justify keeping it, so I was able to declutter a lot of supplies from that. I would call that a successful messy to minimal. There's that little rolling cart, which actually I think will get repurposed in the boys' room for some Lego stuff. So not quite decluttering that out yet, but I do have quite the pile of what I am decluttering. Before I show that to you, I have one more spot to declutter, and that's the pantry storage here in our kitchen. Okay, this is where we keep a lot of our fresh stuff, fruits. I try to clean it out every couple of weeks. I actually cleaned this out last week and it looked beautiful. We've had quite the week. This is what it has turned into. And much like the pantry, some of it is just like empty packaging. Squished hamburger buns. These croutons are quite stale. I'll make this loaf of bread with dinner tonight so that can stay here. I don't need these canned items in here. Off to the pantry they go. These breadcrumbs are empty. These are stale. Ooh, that lime. Yikes. The other ones actually look okay. I'm gonna toss that one. Looks good. And this looks good. There we go. Do I have mold on my thumb? Wash my hands and then show you that declutter pile. Good golly. Oh my gosh. So 2 full bags of garbage, most of which is empty packaging. This actually isn't food. That can go back over in the cleaning supplies that I'm donating. But my goodness, so much. This mop broke. I do need to buy a new one. This tool chest, which is halfway dusty. Look at how gross that is. I don't know if I'm donating it. I have to ask Weston if he needs this for anything. I don't need it for anything, so it can get out of the utility room, but here we are. That is quite the extreme declutter. So much stuff taken out of that room. This has been a messy to minimal for the books. I am very proud of the work done in here today. This was not easy, but totally, absolutely, 100% worth it. I can find everything I need now. I have equipped myself with a functional space so I can do a better job of feeding myself and feeding my family. Hey, did you put the toilet paper in the bathrooms? Did you see that toilet paper right there?
Yeah.
Could you go deliver that to the bathrooms? This is where the toilet paper is going to be now for you to be able to find it each week. And I've also equipped my family to be able to do chores, cook things, take care of themselves. I want to encourage you that even if you feel like you're the only one decluttering or the only one who cares, the work that you do to simplify your space impacts more than just you. Even if you're someone who lives alone, because here's the thing, when your space is simplified, your brain is simplified. And I mean that in a good way. You free up brain space so that you have more time for the things that you love, for the people that you love, even if you're not living with them. Some concepts of minimalism and the work that I've put into not just simplifying, but learning about simplifying my home has improved every single aspect of my life. So when I walk into this room, and it is absolutely crazy and overwhelming. Like I was saying toward the beginning of this video, I have enough experience doing this that I know at the end of the day, I can stand in a space that is peaceful and functional. Even if it's not Pinterest worthy, oh my goodness, is just giving me life. It makes me so happy. And I hope that this video was an encouragement to you, that you got some motivation out of it. I would love to know in the comments what you're working on right now to simplify or organize or declutter in your home. I love this community so very much. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And you actually get to vote on which space I'm working on next. Would you like to see the schoolroom, school supplies, like family office, computer area get decluttered because it really needs it? Or would you rather see a closet clean out next week, like a spring summer closet clean out? Let me know in the comments. Whichever one gets the more votes, the more comments, wins, and that's what you'll see from me next week. And if you are subscribed, be sure you have that bell notification turned to all notifications. That way you don't miss when I post a new video. Thank you so much for spending a little part of your day here with me on my channel, and I'll catch you later.